Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Tabletop Junkies portfolio. This is part of the World on Fire, and this is diving into the lore of the World on Fire. If you have any questions regarding how the title came to be and how this game came to be, please see my previous video for introductory. Now let's dive in to the lore of World on Fire modern day. This takes place between the times of 2012 and ongoing until further notice. The lore is very much ever expanding still. We will begin with the start. In 2012, it was prophesied that the world was going to end and humanity would face the tribulations. However, little did they know the world did not end, as that something else came about, the fears of humanity. Vampires, once believed to be myth and legend, revealed themselves to the world and was the first among many. Gretchen Lane, a prominent vampire, led the reveal and became the first vampire to go into politics and lead the peace between vampires and humanity with current day politicians. Gretchen Lane holds a special relationship with many politicians, and including the President of the United States, and even was able to be elected Governor of California as a sign of good faith among the humans, once she has delivered a plan to protect the human race from the vampiric threat. Gretchen Lane enacted new sets of laws that vampires must follow and are absolute. The three laws cannot be broken, and if they are sentenced to death by being crucified on a cross publicly and will remain in the sun out in the sun without protection for 24 hours until sundown. The three laws that she enacted are as follows. The first law that all vampires must follow is no vampire should ever drink from an unwilling human, nor attack a member of another race. This will result into their crucified death. The second law is that no vampire should meddle in the affairs of human laws on a local level. This includes if a vampire mugs a human or any member of another race, they are also subject to death. The third law is if the vampire does wish to consume human blood instead of the alternative, then the human must be willing. It must be supervised by one human and one vampire at a special blood bank. And they must purchase it from that blood bank, as that they may not have plenty to go around. If a vampire nest exists and human bodies are found, then the vampires are guilty of murder and will also be sentenced to death. With these new laws and the relationship that Gretchen Lane has made with the humans of the world, the humans and the government has granted vampire rights. After the laws were enacted, the human government, once again, of course, granted the vampire rights, where they were able to have jobs, own housing, and have the freedoms that humans have, along with the freedom of speech and the freedom to vote. Thus began the coexistence of human and vampire relations. Within the same months, werewolves such as lycanthropes were revealed, as they would need special hunting grounds. Of course, the reveal was forced by Gretchen Lane, as she stated that they have a savage behavior during the full moon. This was the second coming out of supernatural entities that lived among the humans in secret. The human government granted them land in the north and placed special signs letting others know that lycanthropes hunt and eat in the area, and they should pass at their own risk. Upon receiving their land after they were exposed, Gretchen Lane opened diplomatic treaties to help build a better relationship with them, and as a sign of both good faith and apology for exposure. The wolves were granted special rights to hunt down vampires on the run in case they couldn't catch them, and also formed a special packs trained to do so, and is hired by the government. Jobs, housing, land, and rights were given to the wolves just like humans and vampires. The lands that were given to the wolves exist in the northern regions of the United States, such as Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, even Maine and Alaska. Once these entities were exposed, zombies made their reveal to the world in short days after the werewolves. The zombies were able to persuade the government and political officials to allow them to become special forces of the police, SWAT teams, and military special forces, as they do not suffer from normal injuries like humans. Zombie rates came quicker than the rest, as there is a need for more police and military personnel throughout the nation and the world. Job and housing rights were given to the zombies, just like humans, vampires, and werewolves. As zombies became primary special forces and SWAT teams locally in Washington state and even Washington, D.C., they were able to sign up for military and create a special operations and black ops personnel at the same level and rate of pay, and this counts as true service to the country. The government also opened up special banks and storage places to store flesh and brains for the zombies, as that they need these things to sustain their own humanity instead of going a farther, darker route. Similar to vampires, zombies carry a very highly infectious virus called the Z virus that transforms humans into what they are, zombies, the Walking Dead. The zombies have 3 laws that they must follow. First law, a zombie may not sleep with anyone until they identify as a zombie. If they choose not to identify and hide their identity, then it will certainly be death for the zombie in question. Second law, all zombies that work around humans in the military and police forces must wear gloves at all times. A failure to do so is also death. Third law, any zombie that loses control and rages will be put down immediately. Among all the supernatural entities that came in to reveal, there was one particular that stood out from the rest. They are called the Scourge of Hell, making their foothold on the promised land to humanity, demons, and of course their brethren, which we call the possessors. They cling to the rites as well, and would almost certainly make faith and exorcisms obsolete. Demons were able to get equal rights as they too lived among the humans for centuries. Some lived in the flesh of others, while others lived with human hosts. Demons were quickly granted equal rights and were able to vote and have land and housing similar to humans. Demons were granted even rights to own businesses and were given special loans for nightclubs if they can afford it. Demons had one law to follow, and that is no raising hell to the end of the world. Of course, they agreed upon it. Possessors, being that they are demons without bodies and needed a host to sustain themselves on this plane of existence, were given hosts that were brain dead or in a coma, with no chance of ever reviving without the help of their demonic powers. The government enacted quickly another special organization that would help with this, as the use of demonic powers did burn the bodies out quickly, even the most healthiest ones. On top of the law that normal demons had to follow, the possessors had one additional one. The one law is that they cannot take an unwilling host. This will result in an exorcism and potentially jailing for all eternity into a magic jar or sentenced back to hell. The government left this law open, as they had no ability to use a magic jar without the help of those that can use magic, or people of faith. Out of all the supernatural entities that would begin exposure in modern mainstream society and assimilating into those mainstream societies, the very least one that did not agree upon it were the mages. Mages were exposed by the supernatural community and others of their own kind. Mages are really humans with natural affinity to using magic, a force of unlimited potential that can be tapped into. Mages revealed an uneasy living with the humans over the centuries, as many of their ancestors were killed and said to be witches. Mages revealed several centuries of bad history where they were burned at the stake, hung, and even had their skulls drilled into by the humans. The most recent war the mages did fight was the Salem witch trials, which was said in history to be literal madness. However, the mages revealed was an internal war, and many of their kind was killed alongside humans, all innocent and none in league with devil. There was a cause for the Salem witch trials. It was a possessing the main priest that led the war against the innocent humans and mages. The name of the demon and identity to this day remains unknown. Mages and humans have no knowledge of the demon in those days, nor did the thing that leave the historical footprint, as the priest was possessed and was also sent to trial and found guilty. The priest's body that was deemed feeble and failing caused the demon to sneak back into the underbelly of hell. However, that was the moment in history that caused hatred among the mages towards humans. This hatred has been unforgiving for centuries, even among the descendants of the mages during those times. Mages have developed for centuries secret societies or covens to keep their magic secret. These still exist today, as not all mages trust in humanity. Humanity has left a stain on their hands and bad taste in the mouth of the mages. These societies are so secret that they are unknown to everyone, including the mages that coexist with the humans. Mages did not need any further rites, as they could not be told apart from humans. Once again, they were basically humans with the natural affinity to magic. With the rise of the supernatural coexistence, two were left without a thought from humanity. Ghosts, due to not having any corporeal form, was not given any rights due to their existence and was assisted with moving on by special task forces or exorcists. Changelings have kept their existence secret, but everyone is aware of them in their homeland, Arcadia, along with the four seasons of the courts and the extreme cosmic power that they wield. Even though they are technically secret, some due to known about the changelings, depending on their type, they were granted human rights due to looking human and not alien to the world. The local folk may not be aware of them. This is possibly due to the denial that something like changelings and seasoned courts could exist along with another world known as Arcadia. Changelings are not granted any additional rights. With the extreme rise of supernatural entities and other beings being merged into society and mainstream society, five things have benefited from it and have suffered from it, such as faith, religion, God, Satan, and the world. Faith. The amount of people that had faith in a higher power and any different God has faded out. That they could not fathom why would any God, for that matter, create creatures like vampires and werewolves, and even zombies, and even the unspeakable that they have had here today. Religion. Churches of many religions were taken over by the banks and other organizations as the religion's beliefs have lost over half of their congregation and were no longer able to meet ends meet. Therefore, leaving a very uncalculable portion of unfulfilled churches. God. The belief of God fallen, and less believed due to the demonic presence, they said was in the world. However, others did stay, as they quoted scripture from the book of Genesis and stated that these creatures were also a creature of God. Satan. The belief of the devil grew, as demons do exist, and many stated it was proof that the devil killed God. In the world. The world economy picked up as many new jobs were created to support the supernatural presence and to keep people safe from them. The world was changed, so the demand for workers were higher and the unemployment lines were dwindling to very low, if not nearly non-existent numbers in 2012. And there you have it, folks. This is the basic reading of one of my lore videos that started my adventures in creating this game called The World on Fire. As I stated before, you can check out my previous video, and I would like to give a shout out to my current viewers that all came out to support me today. And I do appreciate every single one of you. I would like to say hello to Jace personally, because he did come out and support me. Jace Fox, everybody. His link to his channel will be let in my description, as he is supporting my original work. And I would also like to give a greetings out to Pops. He has come out and supported all my videos, including my tabletop portfolio. And let's see, and Mr. Alex James, of course, and as he also came out today to support me and has become a new subscriber. Thank you all for supporting me, seeing my video today. That is everything that I have for today. I will be releasing another video as soon as I can. The next video that we will cover will be covering the history of vampires that exist in the world on fire. That is all I have for today, folks. I hope you guys all have a great and wonderful day, and thank you for viewing me. And for the future viewers, if you do like my video, please leave a subscribe and a like, and I do have other videos. Please check them out. Thank you and have a great and wonderful day.